What's good, YouTube? Ben here. Welcome to the next video on the channel. In this one, I'm going to give you my next steel path viable build on Warframe. This is going to be for Wukong Prime. Let's get into this. Right, so Wukong's one of my favorite Warframes, and this build is going to base solely around him and Iron Staff Prime, which both have full builds on. But let's jump into it. Now, before we jump into the actual build, I want to mention I've got a couple of Archon shards on. Two of them are for casting speed, and the other one's to give energy at spawn. So there's nothing here modifying damage. It's just his ability cast and his energy. So there's no damage modifiers here or anything. But let's jump into Wukong. So we've got Steel Charge for squad receives plus 60% melee damage. It's really important because, of course, if we're using Iron Staff Prime, we definitely want that on. We've got Umbral Vitality for 180% health, plus 19.8 tower resistance, and it enhances with other mods in the set. We've got Umbral Fiber for 180% armor and 19.8 tower resistance. Umbral Intensify for 77 ability strength and plus 19.2 tower resistance. We've got Blind Rage for 99% ability strength and negative 55% ability efficiency. We've got Prime Continuity for 55% ability duration. We've got Transient Fortitude for 55% ability strength and negative 27.5% duration. We've got Hunter Adrenaline, convert 45% of damage on health to energy without shields. Allies, Overguards imitates health. And we've got Narrow Minded for 99% ability duration and 66% ability range. In the Arcane slots, we've got Arcane Battery for gain 0.30 maximum energy per armor point up to 1000 energy. This is one's at rank 5. And I've got rank 4 Arcane Fury. So at rank 4, on critical hit, 60% chance for 150% melee damage to melee weapons for 18 seconds, plus 1 Arcane Revive. So as you can see, we're going for a duration strength build. Now, there's a lot of people online that will either run Hunter Adrenaline or Equilibrium for certain builds. In this case, I run Hunter Adrenaline purely because I'm going to be taking a lot of damage all the time, meaning that a lot of that damage is going to be converted to my energy, which I'm going to need because of Iron Staff Prime. You can run Equilibrium, but from my testing with this build specifically, it works better with Hunter Adrenaline. Let's jump into Iron Staff Prime quickly. So it's got Primal Fury, which is its stance mod. It can't use any other one because it is a exalted weapon. You've got Prime Pressure Point for 165% melee damage, Galvanized Steel for 110% critical chance, ×2 for heavy attacks, on melee kill plus 30% critical damage for 20 seconds, stacks up to 4 times. We've got Galvanized Reflex for 50% heavy attack efficiency, and on melee kill plus 20 initial combo for 20 seconds, stacks to 4 times. This is very important for 2 of the next mods coming up. We've got Blood Rush for 40% critical chance, stacks with combo multiplier. We've got Weeping Wounds for 40% status chance per combo multiplier. We've got Virulent Scourge for 60% toxin and 60% status chance, Vicious Frost for 60% cold and 60% status chance, and Organ Shatter for 90% critical damage. We've also got Melee Animosity. On melee hit, gain 42% critical chance on your next heavy attack, up to 420%. So we are primarily going for a critical build with this, and thanks to having Reflex, which is going to keep our initial combo high, we're going to be proccing our critical chance a lot more, as long with our status chance, which is going to in turn inflict more viral procs on everyone as well. The only other thing you could run in this one's place is Melee Doughty, which, if you added on some puncture by getting rid of like Organ Shatter or Galvanized Reflex, you could get more critical damage. You could technically also run Melee Exposure as well to add corrosion, but from my experience, because we're going for a primarily melee-centric critical build, Animosity just works better, especially for heavily armored units. But let's jump into the mission. I'll show you what this thing can do. Alright, as per usual, we're here at Oxmoco in the Void, and I'll quickly explain why we're here. So the Void is one of the latest game areas in the game, so you're dealing with the Corrupted. And with the Corrupted, you're dealing with enemies with just health, enemies with health and shields, and enemies with high armor, giving you a more varied example of what your weapon/Warframe can do. I do want to mention as well, I label this as a viable build. So whilst this build is viable for you to use on the Steel Path, it's probably not going to get you to level cap, which is level 9,999 enemies. But without further ado, let's jump in. So we'll activate Iron Staff Prime, go into our duplicate, and then of course I'm going to go ahead and just start by getting Defy open, getting some armor, which doesn't give us much. But as you can see, we're already starting to shred through every single enemy that appears. Now our goal here is to start taking a bit of damage so we can energy regen. But of course that's a bit slow because of our armor, which is fine. Now, ideally, once your energy is decently high, that's when you want to start activating your armor. There we go. Give me damage. Come on. Damage me. Fine. We're in my phone. Hey, there we go. Energy's going up. That's excellent. Now, of course, because of all the armor we're stacking, we also get extra energy anyway. Basically speaking, once your energy's decently filled, you're pretty much set. Let's heal up. The cool thing with Wukong, not only can you get a lot of armor, but you can also get a lot of energy fast, and you can also attack really fast with Iron Staff. Now, until, of course, Exalted weapons became their own weapons, Iron Staff wasn't that good, because you couldn't really mod it. You could only mod it based upon the frame itself, whereas now you can mod it separately. It's kind of like with Iron Fist Prime from Atlas. Like, his Iron Fists, now that you can mod them separately, are just so much better than they once were. Ow. Okay, that thing's going. Go away. But yeah, like, honestly, for those people that love melee, this is just a fun build. Like, Wukong itself is really great. Not to mention, you've got your little sidekick there giving you assistance on taking out harder enemies. And of course, because of melee animosity, we're also able to get really strong, powerful hits on our strong attack, which I'm going to show you once we get to a heavily armored unit. Or like an Eximus or something that's more heavily armored. There we go, there's an Eximus right there. And a heavy gunner. Boop. And it's gone. Now, another cool thing with Wukong is his immortal technique. His immortal technique is just ridiculous because, basically speaking, when you die, it allows you to revive yourself 3 times on your own. Which, 1, for Steel Path is fantastic, but 2, it also gives you a temporary buff as well, depending on which buff you're on. So it allows you to get a lot more powerful for a temporary amount of time. Not only that, though, but like I said, because of the clone being there, and because of the power strength we've got, he has a ton of health, which is great. But he's just able to do damage, and that's ideally what you want him for, as well as to be sort of a bit of fodder towards the enemies too, because they're going to also take aim at him rather than just you, meaning that you've also got a bit of leeway when it comes to taking damage. Although, between getting a bunch of armor, your Iron Staff, which is just ridiculously strong, not to mention your ability to heal and everything, like, it is pretty difficult to die, I'm not going to lie. That was fast. Okay, so Iron Staff, as you can see, took him out. Dude, it is ridiculous. It just one-shots acolytes. It's so fun. Like, Wukong is just such an awesome frame with this build. Like, he just absolutely obliterates everything. But really fun build. Let me know what you think about this build in the comments down below. Don't forget you can support the channel completely for free just by liking, commenting, and subscribing. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. Don't forget you can support the channel even further by becoming a channel member from as little as 99 pence per month. And don't forget I do live stream. When I go live here on YouTube and over on Twitch and on TikTok all at the same time. My streams here on YouTube are in the shorts form feed, some more for mobile. If you want to catch the exact same streams at the exact same time in full 1080p, feel free to join me on Twitch or TikTok. Those links are in the description below.